Good morning. What's going on, my loves? All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to prepare a tongue for a court case spell. This is a very ancient practice that has been used in magic and hoodoo for a very long time. And the purpose of using a tongue for a court case spell is to silence your enemies, silence whoever is trying to speak against you. Working with a tongue spell is primarily used for what I call, good morning everybody, hey Mary, is primarily used for what I call heavy duty spiritual work. What I mean by that is you would want to use this for a serious court case. Not to say that all court cases are not serious, but this wouldn't be the best suited for maybe a small claims court, okay? If you're going to court for maybe like a traffic ticket, an eviction, or something that you're just going to go before a judge, it's really straightforward, and there's going to be an answer or decision made that day, you'd be better off using a honey jar for that. Those really do help for those not heavy cases. If you guys want to see me do a video on a court case honey jar, I will happily do that for you. But working with a tongue spell, this is for things that, you know, you're facing jail time. Perhaps you're already in jail. You're going to a trial. You're going to, it's a felony case. It's a divorce case. It's a custody hearing. It's something that you have multiple people involved. And I will say to you, court cases are by far probably the most complex type of case to use spiritual work on, because typically you have, there's a prosecutor that's involved, there's whoever is accusing you of the situation that's involved, then you have the judge that is in charge of making the final decision, whether or not this is something that's presented in front of a jury, then you've got jurors to have to worry about, you've got an attorney or a DA that you're really hoping is going to be on your side, and so there's a lot of different hands in the pot that's making a decision over your life. So if it's a situation like that, you need something that's going to be heavy duty and that's going to work. It's really interesting. I woke up to all these different messages over the weekend, like Monday and Tuesday, from people that, either got DUIs over this weekend and they're going to court. If you're in California and you get more than one DUI, you get jail time. So that's pretty serious. And I don't know, it seems like there's something in the air. This is probably, I just did one of these 2 days ago, and I figured since everybody keeps asking about it this week, I would show you guys how to prepare one for yourself. The way that well, let me just say this. Typically, a lot of people are familiar with the cow tongue spell, and the reason why you see that a lot is because that's what's most easily accessible in a lot of grocery stores. Deer tongue is probably the hardest, so you do not have to, don't go crazy trying to find one of those. You can also substitute it with the pig tongue. It doesn't matter whose tongue it is as long as it is a tongue. My local butcher kind of goes back and forth between cow tongues and pig tongues, so I pick up what I can get and get what's affordable, of course. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to prepare this. It's a lot of little steps, but it's not that difficult. The ingredients are things that you can most likely probably acquire from your local grocery store or ordering them on Amazon. What's really important here, of course, is you want to combine this with doing some candle work. So court case candles by themselves work very well, again, for smaller things. But if it's a trial, then you want to combine both the tongue spell along with the candles. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. So let's just get started really quickly. I will try to take some questions. I may have to go back through my messages because I only have about 10 minutes before I gotta walk out the door. Okay, so you can see right here I have purchased, this is a pig's tongue. I already kind of started part of the prep work by slitting it down the middle. What you're gonna need in order to anoint this is you can use either some palm oil. If you don't have palm oil, which that's something you can find at your local grocery store, typically at a natural food store, so like a Whole Foods or something to that effect. And you're going to also use some coconut oil. Or not with coconut oil. You can use coconut oil as a substitute. You don't need very much. Can you guys see this okay? See if I need to adjust this camera a little bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this is you're just going to anoint it. And the oil also, coconut oil is for banishing. It's great for removing things. It's great for clearing out energy. And it also is going to help your pepper stick. Okay. So just a little bit. And as you're doing this, you are going to recite either Psalm number 35, which is for court cases, or you can be speaking the name of your enemies, specifically saying, well, I'll show you guys in a second what I like to do with that. So the next thing I'm going to use is some chili peppers. These are just the regular old red chili peppers. Hold on. Okay, somebody's trying to call me and I'm shooting a video. All right, so you're going to place the chili peppers on here. I also like to use a little bit of cayenne pepper. And you really want to get it on there really, really well. The purpose of using the hot peppers is you want to silence the tongue of whoever's speaking against you. You want their mouth to burn if they try to testify against you. You want them to choke up on their words. You want everything to come out of their mouth to be backwards, to not come out straight. You want the judge to become very frustrated with them, to the point where, of course, the objective is to either throw out the case, or find that whoever's trying to speak against you, that their case doesn't hold up. I've done several of these in the past, and all of them have had very good results. However, the way you dispose of them and kind of the way you handle them once you prepare it will make a difference on the results that you get. So the next thing you're going to do is you want to take a piece of paper and you will write the names of whoever it is that is going to be speaking against you. So if that's the prosecutor, put the prosecutor in here. If there's witnesses, then you put the witnesses in here. Anybody who is against you, they're going to go on this piece of paper and you're going to sprinkle it with some cayenne pepper. To save a little time, I already did this ahead of time. This is not for anyone particular. I actually had an extra tongue in the pack, so this is just to show you guys. But you fold it. You want to turn it at a 90-degree angle and fold it away from you because you're sending them away. You're sending what they're trying to accuse you of away. Another 90-degree angle, and you want to fold it up just small enough where it can fit down inside of the opening here. Okay, you want to get that in there. The next thing you're going to want to do is take your straight pins, some needles, some rusty needles, some coffin needles, whatever you have, and you're going to want to take 9 of them and you want to stick the needle in between the piece of paper. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. In between the piece of paper. And as you're doing that, you're going to say, I silence your tongue from speaking against me. Any words that utter out of your mouth will burn should you speak against me. Come on, get in there. Okay, maybe not. We'll do this one. Your testimony will not hold up in court. May the judge become frustrated with you. May you become choked up in every word that's uttered out of your mouth. May make no sense. And you're going to want to do that 9 times. I'm not going to do that here for the whole video, but you guys get the point. Also, if if the opposing party has an attorney, then you're going to want to put them in here also. For cases where you don't know everybody involved, so sometimes you may not know the name of everyone's attorney, you may not know the name of prosecutors, that's okay. You can always just use the word prosecutor, you can use the word opponent's attorney, you can use the individual's name and plus their attorney, you can put that in here. So you've got your tongue prepared, you've got your paper in there, you've got your needles in there, you've spoken your intentions over it. The last thing you're going to do is, and this is an optional step, I do this because I make court case oil. You pour a little bit of court case oil in here. Then you're going to want to take your string and you're going to bind this together. Essentially, you're binding their mouth shut. You're binding whatever it is they're trying to say shut. And if you notice, I'm folding it back in on itself. Just like their words, just like their testimony, just like what they're trying to do to you, you're folding it back onto them. Now this part right here, it's messy. It ain't pretty, I'll tell you that much. This is not your fluffy spell. You have to be okay with getting your hands dirty. You have to be okay with dealing with animal parts. You have to be okay with bleaching down your surface after you're done. All of that. So you're going to bind this. Now, typically, you know, if I was doing this for a client, I'd be reciting Psalm number 35 over this. I would be repeating my intentions over this. And that's what you would end up doing. A lot of people will like try to tie this thing all fancy. I don't do that. It's binded. I stick it down here and we're done. Almost. You see? You got it? Yeah, it's pretty gross, huh? But it works. Now, once you're done with that part, you're going to want to place it on a tray, a clean tray. Then you're going to need to take your candles. I have 5 blue candles here. This is for court cases. You can also use brown candles. You can use black candles. And you can use red, but I prefer to work with the blue ones. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. So, this is just a little bit of oil, so it's not going to be as easy to anoint each candle one by one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold them in my hand. I'm going to drizzle my court case oil on them. And I'm going to be thinking my intentions over each candle, okay? I'm going to take a second or two. When I say a second or two, I mean take a minute. Don't rush through this process. Speaking of rushing through this process. And anoint your candles. From there, hold on you guys, I thought I had everything at my fingertips, but clearly I didn't. From there, you're going to place your candles down and around. You can use the 7-day candle, but you know, you're not going to want, this is not going to want to sit and rot for 7 days out on an altar. So what you would do is you would start this, and practice fire safety, you guys. You would start this, you would let the candles burn down. You would then take the tongue, and you have 2 options. You can take it and bury it. You can bury it in a cemetery, but I will warn you with that. Burying tongues in cemeteries will off your enemies, and I'm speaking from experience. I did a legal case one time, and we put a judge in here, and the consequences weren't very good. The person got the results they wanted, but the way that came wasn't good. So you can bury this when this is done. You wrap this up you wrap up the tongue, throw the tray away, and you can bury this in a cemetery. You can bury it in a park. You can bury it in some dirt. You want to bury it away from yourself. If you could bury it by the courthouse, that would be great, but I wouldn't recommend that because you might get in trouble. Another option is you take the tongue, you put it in a container, you fill it up with ice, you fill it up with vinegar, and then you stick it in your freezer until after your court date. And that's a way of freezing your enemies, freezing them from speaking against you. Psalm number 35 is what you would repeat over this, or any words of power. I hope this is helpful to you guys. I got to jump off of here, but I really wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of people have legal issues in court cases and things of that nature, and they just don't know what they can do to help themselves. There's nothing more frightening than going before a judge and all these people that literally have your life or what could be of your life dangling in their hands. And this does work. It works very well. This is a service that I do offer for clients. If you guys have any questions, you can inbox me. If you want to discuss potentially having this work done for yourself, visit my website at oneritualaway.com, book a consultation. If you missed this, the replay will be up on my YouTube channel a little bit later, Mystic at the Crossroads. And good luck to you guys. I love y'all, and I will talk to you later.